Blessings, 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 everybody out there in the universe. My name is Sean Myrie, and I'm your host of the Down to Earth podcast. Today, we got a great artist on the show, live and direct. I will call her a legend, but she's still, fresh and, like young, so, introduce yourself to the universe.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I go by Keysha Fresh. I'm a hip hop artist, MC, and I'm excited to be here.
So like we chopped it up before, but that one was
hmm
a little distorted, but we're here right now, live in the flesh. You could tell the people how long you've been doing like your music for.
That's like a two-part. That's a two-part question. So I've been performing for 26, 27 years, but I've been rapping for 16,
16
16
years.
years. Yeah.
All right, so you start getting into the rap, the hip hop more like when you're reaching your teenage years.
Yeah, exactly. But I always knew what I wanted to do. It was either basketball or rap for me. So I
So,
always knew.
so I'm gonna ask you, what made it pop? Like, what made you really? This is what I want to do. Like make it a career.
It's just like surrounded by hip hop. I used to go to New York a lot with my family, and I used to spend a lot of time in New York, summers in New York, and just the vibe and the culture and the energy. And then my whole family, my uncles, my brothers, everybody grew up listening to hip hop and like the real rap from the
Yeah.
'90s and the '80s. So I grew up with cassette tapes, and I used to dub radio shows on the cassette player and stuff. So it was just kind of the culture. It's what I grew up with. So I don't know. I felt a connection to it just from a very, very young age.
And you put that like a tribute to your brothers, like the influence.
Yeah, my brothers, my uncles. Like my uncle used to have Mecca and the Soul Brother on a cassette. I remember taking that. Camp on Saturday night, we had that on cassette. The Presidents, Reasonable Doubt, we had that on a cassette. We had vinyls in the house.
It's hip hop.
Yeah, so it was just always around,
Because the stereotype is that the girl will be like listening to like some singing, some soul, R&B or
it was there. You know what I mean? It was there.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm Guyanese, so soca is in my house. Reggae, a lot of reggae, a lot of soca, a lot of soul music. So I was exposed to every genre of music. I used to listen to a lot of easy rock. CHFI is my mom's favorite station, so we were listening to easy rock growing up.
So what year you would say like when you first really debuted commercially up on?
2010, when I released my first single, Hollywood Fresh. We shot that in New York at Dougie Fresh's house and Empire State Building, the Apollo Theater, different places. And that song just kind of took off. Like that was my first radio single. That was on all radio stations. I was playing on radio stations in New York, Atlanta, Vegas. They played it at Times Square when the ball dropped in that year. So it was everywhere.
I feel there's a certain period of time, that same time in Toronto or especially Toronto hip hop, urban music, or Canadian hip hop, something changed where it wasn't like everybody wasn't. I don't know if it was Drake, but something was like not showing everything, like all the talent. Like you know what I mean? Like I stopped listening to Toronto hip hop around those times.
Yeah, because I think with like Young Money and like American hip hop just really doing its big one at the time, where it was a mixtape era. Like I came out in the mixtape era. So my mixtapes were on Dat Piff and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So and that was like the internet era. That's when things started to change and it really became about the internet. And so music became accessible and there was so much. It became a lot. It became overwhelming because people could put their own music out and stuff like that, independent from a label. So it was just a very interesting time around that time. But I do remember when I first dropped Hollywood Fresh, that song was like, it was like on the charts, Mega City Hip Hop and them charts, like battling with the dudes.
I believe so because I remember like, when I hear Keysha Fresh, right? Because now I'm getting a memory from like the children's book what you're involved in, right?
Yeah.
I seen the name a long time ago, and after that, I'm refreshing my brain, listening to the music. And as you started young, very young, right? 2010.
Yeah.
Now you're older, so now it's like you're kind of reintroducing yourself to a lot of people, right?
Yeah, I feel like I'm always, I feel because me, I don't let timelines kind of run how I want to put out music and be an artist.
Yeah.
So there's times where I'll take a couple years off and just be doing other stuff in the sneaker community, whatever else I want to do, and then I'll come back and just drop like an album or something like that. I feel like I've cemented my thing already.
Yeah,
so
it's true because I was just talking with my brother earlier, right? And I'm straight up, this is down to earth. I was talking about, for example, now you already been like playing in stations in America and here, right? And sometimes if you don't really do your research, you don't know. But there's not too much female, I would say, even male, just even everything, like with hip hop, doing hip hop from Canada, reaching those places like on American stations to say it's playing in New York or some type of station what's recognizing urban music.
Right.
So what I'm getting at, Keysha, we're giving you your flowers from us. You should be because that's hard for someone coming from here to accomplish.
It was hard.
A lot of people want that to be played on American Hot 97, whatever, down there.
It was hard then, like at the time I was 16. So being a 16-year-old and coming in and disturbing an industry that at the time, prior to that, we saw Lil Mama with lip gloss and stuff like that. But there was gaps where there was no real, like, nobody kind of doing it on a commercial level or trying to, So when I came out with this music video and they had like legends in the video and we're shooting inside the Empire State Building, which after 9/11 wasn't allowed, but we did it. We're shutting down streets at the Apollo and stuff, like, to be able to. And then that was a Canadian that directed that. His name's David Cropper. So David Cropper is one of the that's David Cropper's a legend. So he directed that video, and just for it to kind of do what it did, I feel like I didn't understand at the time what I was doing.
Yeah.
I didn't understand at the time that it was really legendary to have these artists. Like, I did because I know who they were and I sampled them on the record. Dougie Fresh, to have them on the record was dope. So I did, but at the same time, there's a level of appreciation I have now that I couldn't really grasp.
Yeah, because that was like that'd be 13 years ago or so.
A little longer.
A little longer. Yeah. Don't worry about it.
A little longer than that, but yeah.
Yeah, but a little longer, whatever. But what I'm saying is there's not too much female MCs I could say, hey, from here, like, besides Mishi Me, respect to Mishi Me.
Yeah.
I can't what are, like, out there. What do you feel about that?
I mean, there are some, but I just, again, just to be able to have the vision that I had at that age to go to New York and do that.
Yeah.
Like, start my career in New York and have those doors open for me. It's just, it was out of frustration, to be honest, because when I first started making records, there was like a couple artists who really kind of answered the call when I was like, yo, I want to work with you. Can you help me out? And that was Kim Davis. That was Preem. Me. So I could really count on one hand the artists that answered the call and came and gave me advice or helped me, looked out for me. So just having that guidance and then going to New York and starting my career in New York, I think that was like big, the little cheat code. Yeah,
beneficial is true.
Yeah, because then DJs from New York were hitting me up like, yo, they're when I was there, they, well, we want to meet you. We heard there's a 16-year-old girl shooting a video in Harlem, like shutting down the streets. Like, who is this?
It just takes the steps. You're right.
That's it.
You're right, because I believe anything you do, if you have talent, media, if you do go to New York and it's on or anywhere like that, and you're gonna do your business,
right,
you're serious about it, you should be coming back here. You come back here as a little bit better.
And that was it. And New York is it's the Mecca, right?
Yeah.
So the energy that you feel out there. So, but I do think that there's quite a few female MCs right now, especially in the city, that are definitely doing their thing. Like my sis Havaya, like, you have to shout out Havaya, she's doing her thing. Like, there's quite a few that are stepping into that stardom, stepping into that next level.
Speaking of that, I wanted to ask a question. How does it feel to, like, from having your the sorority group from before, from a transition from a group, like, I don't know, you were solo first, I understand.
Yeah.
And then after you guys went into a group, how was that feeling, being a part of a group?
I mean, it was probably like the best time in my life in my music career. Yeah. Like, it was fun. We toured the country multiple times. We did shows from Victoria all the way to Prince Edward Island and Moncton and stuff. So we got to see the country together. The initial challenge when we worked on the album Pledge was just, before a solo artist, I don't have to ask your opinion. Like, this is the record, this is what we're doing, that's it. But when you're with 3 other people, you have to respect their opinion.
Yeah.
How did you guys come up with the group name
Lex came up with it.
Okay.
Lex came up with it. We were trying to decide a name, and we thought like Sisterhood, the
I,
sorority.
I liked it. I liked
Thank
it. I liked it a lot. When it came up, I was like, finally.
Yeah.
I'm like, finally, yo, there's some movement going on, you know?
Thank you. I heard some people thought we were too lovey-dovey, but I disagree. I think all of our records. I think we had one or two Mon tune or whatever tune, but love tune, but the rest of the records were hard. We were trying to really bar out, and the thing is, we pushed each other. There's times where I write a verse and I go to the studio and then I hear Phoenix's verse and I'm like, I'm right back. You know what I mean?
So you fed off each other.
That's it. Everybody raised the bar for each other.
Yeah.
So you performed recently somewhere. Where was that?
That was in Oshawa. I was at the Biltmore Theater. I opened up for Snotty Nose Res Kids. We used to be signed to the sorority and them have the same management company. So those are like my brothers. So when they told me they were in the end, I pulled up and rocked the set, and it was crazy. Me and my DJ, my boogie, so crazy.
How did that feel getting back on stage?
The last time I performed was Manifesto, which was last August. So and then that was a crazy show to prepare for, but it was one of the best shows that we did last August.
I have a random question.
I gotta answer.
Will there be another sorority project?
Project, no, but we did perform at Manifesto together. I brought them out and we performed together.
Okay.
No.
I just wanted. I had to throw that.
Sorry.
I had to throw
busy schedules.
Nah. Everybody's kind of doing their solo stuff, and you're right, busy schedules.
Yeah. So like, are you planning to go to America anytime soon? To Mecca? Like,
I'm always in America.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always in America.
So your network, you going? All right, that's good.
I spend a lot of time there. Atlanta, New York. I spend a lot of time there. It's been a couple of months since I've been back, but I have so much stuff I want to work on right here. So, every time I do try to leave, it's like something else comes up. But within the next, I think tomorrow I'm going to.
So what's the experience?
Wow.
Okay,
Yeah.
the experience going there, and you're an artist. Like, take some people through the experience if you're doing something with your business, like you're gonna network, studio, or perform somewhere.
Well, people, if I get a call, say, yo, there's an event in New York, your name's on the guest list, you should pull up. So I want you to meet so and so. It's a no-brainer. I'll jump on a plane and get to New York. It's quick, to be at these events, meet, shake hands and meet people. I have a lot of friends there who are musicians, artists, and DJs, and they throw events. Shout out to Half Moon, they throw a lot of events and stuff. So I'm always over there, just trying to find different places to kind of fit in and just, again, catch a vibe. I just feel re-energized when I'm in New York.
So how important it is, how very, important it is for artists to do this type of stuff.
You have to get out your city. You have to get out your city.
Listen,
I love Toronto like the next person, but you have to get out your city. There's so much more to this world, and even if it's not about business, even if it's just traveling and catching an inspiration. I wrote my album in Samadhi in Guyana. You catch inspiration from other places, so that's important.
Yeah. So are we gonna see a mixture of that style, where you're background with the Toronto thing for the summer?
Always. Whenever I'm writing these days, it's such a heavy influence. I listen to a lot of dancehall music and a lot of reggae and Afro beats. The energy that I'm on is just different. So the new music is gonna sound dope.
All right. So I'm gonna ask you what's going on. It's kind of controversial. How you feel about that woman beat going on in hip hop?
Yeah. Oh, in hip hop. Okay, I thought you could ask me about Jada Kingdom or something. Okay, no. Hip hop.
Nicki Minaj.
Man.
Yeah.
And which one was harder?
This is interesting to hear it from a female MC. Yeah, I'd like to hear this.
Who hit harder?
I think they both. Listen. I gotta be honest with you. I have to be totally honest with you. I listened to both records.
Okay.
And I think, Megan, the record that Meg dropped was like her comeback. This was her breaking her silence and her, stepping into her after everything, that's been going on. So I just shout out to Meg for
she came
just
back.
Coming out hard, coming out with a dope record, coming out with announcing a new deal with the label. I'm just so happy when I see women just owning that stuff and doing their thing. So to be honest, I don't really have a side to choose in that whole situation. I don't even understand where it started from, and I never really looked into it.
Me too. You're right.
I have another random question. You know, since you've been doing your art for a long, so like which female MCs? I don't know if I asked you that question before, but who have you grew up and been inspired
by?
By?
Obviously Mish and I have a very similar story actually. If you like watch about or read about our kind of entering the music industry around the same age, like there's so many parallels to her and I's story. So that's like a big sister to me. So shout out to Mish. I love Mish. Missy Elliott is one of my biggest inspirations. I can distinctly remember watching one of her music videos and saying to myself, like, I want to do that. So Missy, Lauren, because I think she combines everything I love about music. MC Light, because she's just hard. She's hard. Bamadia.
Oh, Bamadia. Oh, I love her voice. Her voice is unmatchable.
Thank you.
To anyone. I have to say that.
Voice is important when you're an MC.
You know what?
That's true.
Come to think of it, she brought a real interesting point. When it comes to MCs, besides their lyrics and their punchlines and everything, it's their voice attracts me a lot.
I agree.
Because one of my favorite MCs of all time still alive, underground from the Duck Down family, and that's Buckshot. You know what I mean? Buckshot, he has that voice and how he does his punchlines and all of that, So I just love it. When you have that voice, you found your sound.
Thank you. And that's why, like, for example, I love AZ. That's my favorite rapper. I just love his voice. I love the way he sounds on a record.
Yeah. I like that too, like DMX. Even that's why people like Pop, because his voice. It's not necessarily the lyrics; it's how the voice is going with the production.
Yeah, 100%. So there's people in the city that I love, like that. Dr. Bushman. Like I love Dr. Bushman's records because I just love his voice.
What's up, Dr. Bushman?
Yeah. So there's definitely that's a very important point. Like listening to music, I just want, like, if you sound good, I'll probably.
All right. So what's next up for you? Like you have any projects in the works right now?
Oh yeah. I'm back in the studio recording and writing and
getting
creative again. So this will be my 11th project. So 11.
Yeah. And you
congratulations.
So you went to the Junos. You ever been to the Junos?
Yeah, I was nominated last year, so I did go. That was
congratulations to that too.
Thank you. Children's Album of the Year. So I was in Edmonton. And then the Junos are coming up in a couple weeks. So I'm heading on to Halifax for that too.
Awesome. See, do people understand? Do you understand the Junos, how people get voted?
Yeah, but I got tired of, you get tired of complaining about things, so I joined. I vote. I'm a delegate, so I vote. So
well, you're doing something about it instead of just talking about it.
Everybody complains and complains.
You're a doer, not
Yeah, I'm a delegate, so I vote. So I understand.
So basically, if you're an artist and you want to be in this whole mix, you basically have to be a part, like participate in some type of way,
or get an understanding. Go. I see artists complain about the Junos who've never been to one. Like they don't show up to any of the events. You know what I mean? It's just, you don't just get nominated for a Juno. There's a lot of work that has to be put in for your music to reach certain levels and reach certain ears. You know what I mean? So the thing about the artists of today is nobody wants to put in any work. You can't just upload a record to DistroKid or whatever and then just fall back. You know what I mean? This is not how this works. So
well, everyone thinks it's a push button society,
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say, like, what do you think about the current state of hip hop after like the 50-year anniversary that has passed?
I think for the 50th anniversary, it was so dope, but it exposed so many people. Like, it exposed so many people. Like, people were crawling out of nowhere trying to be like, "Oh, I'm hip hop." I'm just like, all these years, man. Like, what's going on? So I think it exposed a lot of people, but it also exposed gave people a lot of exposure. You flip it. You know what I mean? So it was beautiful watching some of the tributes and stuff and seeing some of the OGs and stuff getting their flowers and their love and their appreciation. That warmed my heart.
Yeah, but the South wasn't represented as much.
Yeah.
I have to say that, though.
I will say that, but neither was the North. So.
Well, yes.
Neither were we.
You know what? Facts. I love it that the elephants in the room and be bringing that up. The North wasn't represented as much.
Exactly.
The only thing I can say is for the Grammys that K9 won a Grammy.
He did, but that's
not, the only thing I could say.
But that was this year. That's not Hip Hop 50 from last year.
Yeah, no, I know.
When you look, they did have when you look on the you know how they were honoring people, even in the BT, they did their notarized this year was the 50 greatest hip hop videos.
Yeah.
In their promotion, they said we're celebrating artists from the South, from the East, from the West, and everywhere else.
Yeah.
And I said you literally forgot the other directions.
No North.
Because we're not getting that. We're not getting that right.
But so, in the promo, they showed about 40 Drake clips. So it's like you're literally, you know.
So what I mean? You're pretty much saying we're not really getting that respect.
Of course.
Still up till now.
No.
Okay.
So I hear you at the South, but I gotta fight here. So
no. You know what?
I hear you.
I am with you there, sister. I am there. Yes, I agree because I've been a fan of the music for a long time, and I've been a critic with the big people too. So yeah, and when it comes to home, my brother knows I am hard.
Yeah.
When it comes to home.
Yeah, you have to be. You know what I mean?
So if you could be have any superpower, Keysha, what superpower would you want to possess?
The power to heal people.
Ooh, I like that
the
one.
Power
Good
to
one.
heal. Hate seeing people hurt, especially kids. You know, what you go to. You know, we do a lot of different outreach events and stuff like that. And you're meeting children who were born terminally ill. Like, I just want to fix them. Like, I want to heal them. I want to remove that.
You want to give them what they inquire and they want to be just kids.
Yeah, go ride your bike.
You know what I mean? I get what you're saying. Straight up. Yeah.
Yo, there's some real great down to earth
conversations
with Keysha Fresh. Yo, Keysha, you want to tell people where they can reach you, where they can?
Well, no. Before we get to that, what's going to be in store for Keysha Fresh for 2024? You know what I'm saying? Is there going to be more videos? Is there going to be any future more singles? You know what I'm saying? You say you're going to be getting back in that studio, right?
Yeah, singles, albums, features, videos.
Okay.
We're shooting videos right now. Shout out to my big bro Ryan. You know,
See.
shooting videos right now. Like,
Okay.
we're going hard.
Very important.
See. Well, yo, remind the people where they can find you on all digital platforms.
Yeah, Instagram and Twitter is free Keysha, FreeKeysha. But if you Google me, you'll find everything you need to know.
One more thing. Before we go, yo, can you shout out to Down to Earth Podcast before we go here?
Shout out to the man, them Down to Earth Podcast. This is Keysha Fresh.
Yeah, don't know. But before we go, I always have to end it like this. This is the Ross, the